A visitation for 15-year-old Jenna Newcomb is held Friday afternoon at Maywood Evangelical Free Church. Jenna was killed in the March 27th attacks that left 4 dead and 7 in the hospital. Jenna was at home with 2 other girls the day of the attack, and her mother says she wants people to know she died saving her sister and her friend. Remember the mother and son who died in the March 27th attacks, Romona and Jacob Schupbach. Their visitation goes until 8 at Cross Point Church on East State Street. Their memorial service will be held Saturday, April 6th at 11 in the morning. Their accused killer, Christian Soto, will appear in court April 15th.